It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both.
Hi, welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. There's a lot heading your way here today, from intense rivalries between countries to mutual respect across the border. We have it all on the show. Are Bangladesh and Sri Lanka the new fiercest cricket rivals in the subcontinent? And why is India's Olympic gold medalist Neeraj Chopra batting for his Pakistan counterpart, Arshad Nadeem? Also, our special coverage of the Indian Premier League that starts off with a look at Hardik Pandya as captain of the Mumbai Indians franchise. What are the challenges he's set to face? And a sneak peek into Jio Cinema and Sports 18 broadcast. All of that on the show, but first, Sports 360. Cricket Australia has postponed the three-match T20 international series against Afghanistan. The series was scheduled for August this year. Australia cited Afghanistan board's reluctance to allow women cricketers to play as the reason. The last time Australia postponed their ODI series against Australia was in March last year. KL Rahul, the captain of the IPL franchise Lucknow Super Giants, or the LSG, will be back in action for his team when the tournament begins. He has received fitness clearance from the National Cricket Academy. He's been advised against keeping wickets for the first few games, though. KL Rahul had picked up a niggle during the first test against England. In football, Lionel Messi has been sidelined for Argentina's friendlies with a hamstring injury. This was announced by the Argentine Football Association. He got injured last week while playing for his club Inter Miami in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Messi will miss Argentina's match against El Salvador on Friday and a friendly against Costa Rica later. Spanish football club Real Madrid has filed a complaint against the referee Martinez Munuera, who was in charge of their game at Osasuna on Saturday. Real Madrid says the referee failed to mention the alleged racist slurs against Vinicius Jr. in his match report. Real Madrid won that game 4-2 with Vinicius scoring 2 of those goals. And in tennis, India's Sumit Nagal is one step away from qualifying for the Miami Open. Nagal defeated Canadian Gabriel Diallo 7-6, 6-2 in the first qualifier. He's likely to reach a new career high ranking of number 92 in the world after this win. Nagal needs to win his final qualifier round against Coleman Wong to enter the main draw. The Indian Premier League, or the IPL 2024 season, is set to kickstart in just 3 days. Fans, franchises, cricketers, everyone involved are gearing up for the T20 Summer Storm. That's what we're calling our coverage here, the T20 Summer Storm, and rightfully so. It has all the marquee players, young sensations under one roof. So quite the festival that's heading our way. But there is one name that is grabbing all the headlines, and it isn't MS Dhoni or Virat Kohli. The usual suspects ahead of any IPL season, and for contrasting reasons. MSD for whether this one will be his last, and Virat Kohli on whether this one will be his first triumph. So this time, though, the buzz has been hijacked by Mumbai Indians and their skipper Hardik Pandya. The man was back at the Mumbai Indians camp, and it's been a whirlwind last few months. He was constantly in the middle of it all, whether it was when news of his imminent departure from Gujarat Titans did the rounds, or when the move actually took place, to now when he came out addressing the media for the very first time as skipper of one of the most lucrative franchises in the league.
First of all, it's very good to be back. As you mentioned, it is back where everything started. It is a very surreal feeling for me, because everything I have known from day one, from 2015 to now, has been through this team, through this journey. Knowing that my whole life changed when I made my debut in 2015 to now, the journey has been a very dreamful journey. Never thought I would reach here, but very, very grateful to be back here, playing in a ground which has been my favorite ground from day one, and at the same point of time playing for my favorite team.
Hardik established himself as skipper in the Gujarat Titans franchise. He was in charge of a new team, a new setup, and the kind of success he replicated. People believed many of the same things are in store in the Mumbai Indians franchise because there is familiarity. He's in tune with all that is already present. It's second home to him. But of course, he had to address the elephant in the room, all the noise around his dramatic return to the mothership and what's left behind it all. So there were the obvious questions that were met with either objections or silences and, of course, the reluctant smiles as well.
Firstly, we were hearing rumors that there was a captaincy clause in your contract.
Thank you.
After the transfer, did you have a chat with Shubman Gill about kind of passing on the baton about G?
But we've got to give it to him. He did try his best to handle the errand boy. It would have been a tough crowd. Understandably so, replacing someone who has been the symbol of Mumbai Indians has not been easy, at least so far, and they haven't even started playing. They have been synonymous for years, have Rohit Sharma and Mumbai Indians. He's led the side to 5 IPL trophies, so obviously there were a few questions asked on Rohit Sharma, what the relationship would be like. How would that journey be seen in the season, which the new captain answered in the most calm manner.
First of all, it won't be any different because he's going to be always there to help me out if I need his help. At the same point of time, you mentioned that he is the captain of Indian team as well, which helps me because this team, what it has achieved under his belt. And from now onwards, it is just going to be what he has already achieved. I just carry forward that. So I don't think it will be any awkward or anything different. It will be a nice feeling because we've been playing for 10 years. I played whole my career under him, and yeah, I know he's gonna have a hand on my shoulder always throughout the season.
Now, Hardik may be ready for all the challenges that lie off the field, but will he be the same force that he was on it before he got injured? Remember, he had a great season with Gujarat Titans as an all-rounder. Of course, a few months back, Hardik Pandya suffered a freak injury during the World Cup. An ankle injury saw him sidelined for most part of the campaign. But will this injury haunt him heading into this season of the Indian Premier League?
Coming back to my injury bit, I have no issues with my body. I plan to play all the games possible because in IPL, I don't think I have missed many games anyway. As you mentioned, it's been 5 months of injury because the last 2 months there was no cricket played. So technically I was out for 3 months. And yeah, that's my answer, sir.
So a fit Hardik Pandya is all set to take this season on. And Mumbai Indians, with the luxury of Hardik Pandya, Rohit Sharma and also another senior hand in Jasprit Bumrah, whom they missed last year, will be looking and gunning for their 6th title. It would be an interesting season to witness and surely won't be easy work for Hardik Pandya. He's already received some backlash, but seeing him face all the music, and that too with a smile, says he knows what he's heading into and is willing to brave it all. Like he quoted his own brother, who advised Hardik years back when there was self-doubt that he belongs here at the biggest stage. So can Hardik hold on to that thought and his nerves and take Mumbai Indians to glory as captain this time around is what we'd see. Now, there are strong rivalries that define every sport. In cricket, for example, it's England versus Australia. Then, of course, the trans-Tasmanian rivalry in Australia and New Zealand. And, of course, there's something about neighbours bringing out the best and the worst in you. Take the subcontinent rivalry. For the longest time, we spoke of India versus Pakistan. And to be fair, it's a rivalry that has stood its ground as well. But there's a new one that's sprung over the course of the last 1 year. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. And it's slowly turning into a bitter, feisty one. We witnessed that in the recent ODI and T20 series between the two countries. Both have been exchanging jibes and taunting each other. Sri Lanka started all off, and Bangladesh was not one to bow down from a fight.
Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. The one thing that brings the two nations on the same table is cricket. But the sport that brings them on the same table is also the reason behind their fierce rivalry. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka have played a lot of cricket with each other over the years. The numbers may favour Sri Lanka, but Bangladesh's rise in international cricket is bound to make this a more well-contested rivalry. And irrespective of the outcome, there have been several controversies surrounding their matches. You've got to remember Bangladesh's Nagin dance celebrations to Sri Lanka mocking it when they were defeated. From Angelo Matthews's timed-out dismissal to a mockery of it. Another chapter unfolded in one of the most entertaining rivalries. The feud between the two nations spiced up after the recently concluded ODI series. Bangladesh clinched a 2-1 win against Sri Lanka in the ODI series on March 18th. After the series win, the entire Bangladesh team came together to pose with the trophy. Bangladesh batter Mushfiqur Rahim walked towards the team while holding a helmet. He was enacting as if there was something wrong with the helmet. Rahim was in fact trolling Matthews' timed-out dismissal from the ODI World Cup in 2023. In the ODI World Cup match between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, Matthews, who failed to take the field in the stipulated time period due to his faulty helmet strap, was dismissed timed out. Bangladesh faced a lot of backlash for the incident, and ever since then, the two sides have tried to get back at each other with this matter. In fact, this dig at Sri Lanka was payback. Bangladesh getting back at what the Lankans had dished out in the T20 series between the two countries that had taken place prior to the ODI series. Sri Lanka had celebrated their 2-1 T20 series win by tapping on the watch while posing with the trophy, an act to taunt the tomfoolery they thought Captain Shakib Al Hasan and his team had engaged in. The players were taking a direct dig at the much-talked-about incident from the World Cup. But Sri Lanka's assistant coach Naveed Nawaz clarified on the matter.
I think it was a celebration which was misunderstood at that time. It was during the heat of the game. Both teams should forget about it. They all give their 100%. Sometimes emotions come into the middle. The players are all very friendly outside the boundary line. They fight really hard once they are inside the ground. I think that's what the game is all about. As long as you maintain discipline in the middle and play really hard, and then cross the boundary line and be good to each other, that's what both teams are expected to do.
In fact, after the Sri Lankan players had mocked Bangladesh, Bangladesh captain Najmul Hossain Shanto had expressed his clear displeasure.
There is nothing to handle aggressively when it comes to this. I think they are yet to move on from the timed-out dismissal. They should move on and stay in the present, since we didn't do anything which was outside the rules of cricket. I think they are making a fuss of it, but we are not worried about it.
That the same Shanto, who thought Sri Lanka was making a fuss of something that should have been brushed under the carpet, was all pumped up after Bangladesh's win in the ODI series and decided it was time to give back in equal measure. The entire team broke into laughter and collectively took a dig at the Sri Lankan team after the win. But given their history, more such chapters are bound to unfold. This rivalry flows deep, as it always is with neighbouring countries. With much in common, there's always more battles to fight, and the Test series coming up can prove to be just as entertaining and caustic.
India and Pakistan, the two nations, poles apart on geopolitical matters, with a history of tension across the line of control, and needless to say, it spills onto the sporting arena as well. Both countries have seen epic rivalries across sporting disciplines, be it cricket, hockey, squash, or other Olympic sporting disciplines. The competition has often been stiff and fierce. And despite the arguments, the on-field tussles, and all the hype that surrounds this animosity, you will see mutual respect between the athletes of the two countries. Not every athlete, though. Gautam Gambhir and Shahid Afridi do not qualify for this category, but there are few that have openly showed their admiration for each other across the border. And one such example is India's Neeraj Chopra and Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem. They have dominated the sport of javelin. The two champion athletes have been fiercest of competitors on the field. A rivalry that first kicked off at the 2016 Guwahati South Asian Games and has seen many chapters leading up to the 2023 World Athletics Championships in Budapest. Their rivalry has grown over the years, and so have their respect and love for each other. And thus, when one athlete is struggling, it comes as no surprise that the other offers his advice, a plea, his concern on the matter. Arshad Nadeem is Pakistan's premier javelin thrower, one of their best when it comes to competing on the world stage. Arshad has a Commonwealth gold, World Championship silver, and an Asian Games bronze to boast of. No mean feat, going by the heavy competition that you see in the field of javelin. Despite his achievements, though, the athlete is struggling to get a new javelin ahead of the all-important Paris Olympics event. Nadeem recently expressed his biggest woe that he's struggling to get an international standard javelin for several years now. The most basic and important requirement for a javelin thrower, his or her javelin. He expressed his frustration over this.
It has now got to a stage where the javelin is damaged, and I have asked the National Federation and my coach to do something about it before the Paris Olympics. When I started off in 2015, competing in international events, I got this javelin. For an international athlete aiming to win a medal in the Olympic Games, you need proper equipment and training facilities.
It's shocking that Nadeem, who has won so many laurels for his country, has put Pakistan up on the globe as far as non-cricket sport is concerned, has to be in this situation. It has to have taken a lot of back and forth before it came to this, to him openly talking about his frustration. This is not the first instance of an athlete in Pakistan expressing his or her frustrations with their federations. Badminton's Mahur Shahzad has blatantly spoken of the lack of facilities provided to the sport. The Pakistan cricket team has its own battles to face, and Nadeem is the latest addition. So obviously, Neeraj Chopra was concerned at seeing one of his fellow competitors' predicament. The world number one, who has won gold at Asian Games, Tokyo Olympics and the World Athletics Championships, was equally shocked.
मेरा मानना है कि शायद से ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि इतना वो ना हो, क्योंकि मेडल्स भी हैं और अभी ब्रांड एंडोर्समेंट भी हैं, तो पैसा तो आया होगा पर्सनल, उससे भी मतलब ले सकते हैं जेवलिन, पर वही है कि शायद से उनके गवर्नमेंट को भी करना चाहिए अभी स्पोर्ट्स सभी जेवलिन थ्रोअर्स को, जैसे हमारी गवर्नमेंट काफ़ी अच्छे से कर रही है.
A couple of things plain and clear over here is that one, the relationship the two share. One champion's struggles has touched a chord in the other. In Budapest World Athletics Championships, where Neeraj finished first and Nadeem came in second, Nadeem was unable to find his country flag. But Neeraj, in a $1 million gesture, invited him over for the photographs as the pair stood together with the Indian flag fluttering behind them. It was a picture that broke the internet. They were laughing and rejoicing each other's success stories right after. That's the level of respect the two share for each other. The other thing, of course, that's evident is the kind of initiatives the Indian government has taken over the years. For Neeraj Chopra to vouch for this and urge others to act in a similar vein, from providing facilities to introducing schemes that benefit athletes, massive school and collegiate level tournaments to tap into the roots and encourage and groom future talents. India has been constantly working to make sports a key initiative in the larger scheme of things. So clearly, reasons enough for Neeraj to convey his concerns over the struggles Nadeem is facing. But how shocking is it that Nadeem, who has performed for Pakistan for years now, is struggling to get the basic gears? The responsibility to provide and look after an athlete who is representing the country lies with the federations and the country, of course. Neeraj rightfully put it out there. Nadeem can buy the gears himself, yes, but it shouldn't have to come to that. If you provide the best of facilities to your athletes, they can focus on training, on winning medals, rather than worrying about the technicalities or the logistics that come along with it. But if a top athlete like Nadeem is made to struggle, then this is not the right optics for any sporting country. And maybe it's good to take a leaf out of what other nations are doing for sport and their sportspersons to develop and move forward as a country. The Women's Premier League has just concluded, and what a super intense, thrilling season that proved to be. The Bengaluru franchise lifted a league trophy for the first time. It was an emotional ride with some fabulous performances on the field. But what captured all of those emotions and the action so aptly was Jio Cinema and Sports 18, the broadcast network, who are bringing to you the exciting IPL coverage as well that will start and resume in 3 days' time. So we took a sneak peek into how they put a broadcast together. Take a look.
We are on air, everyone.
Hi guys, I'm Samina. I'm part of the Jio Cinema Tamil team, and this right here is my happy place. This is my studio.
Apart from having good tea, it is that the game has come about in leaps and bounds, and it's so nice to see the WPL reach higher and higher from season 1 to season 2 and go even further up, higher.
I'm thrilled to be part of broadcasting, especially with Jio Cinema, and to be hosting WPL here. And Women's Premier League is very, very special.
This multiple languages concept has been wonderful to see. So many Indian cricketers, they come from different backgrounds, different regions, different areas. So for Viacom 18 to reach out to those kind of areas from where such cricketers have come, and I feel that is why things have gone so well for WPL.
Getting an opportunity to work for Jio Cinema itself is a dream come true for me. What excites and motivates me is every day is a challenge. So every day when a challenge is thrown at you, it really feels special, and then you do a lot of homework and then you rediscover. So that's what happened here for me. I have rediscovered myself.
What are the most striking aspects about the broadcast?
Multi-languages. I think the fact that we're able to cater to different languages is very nice. And as I said, good action on the ground, fast action covered for us behind the mic, have a nice cup of hot tea and enjoy different cities of the country. It's all good.
So let's begin.
Time for last serve. Now, it's often nice to take a break from your routine. I like doing that too. But something that always makes you happy. And tennis stars did exactly that before the Miami Open. They took a break from the court to play with puppies at an adoption center. De-stress you anytime. Well, thanks for joining again on another episode of First Sports. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, of course, take care and bye-bye.